dead. And the world was left to fend for itself. Months passed, and Prospero, to lighten everyone's spirits, invites them all to a masquerade. Oh, how lavish the clothes they would wear, the masks with which they would adorn themselves, a true sight of richness. This masquerade. Within this palace were 7 rooms, unique in their own way, yet similar in one. They all had 3 pointed windows, reaching from the floor to the ceiling. And they too were special, for each one matched the color of the room they were in. No more than 1 room could be seen at a time in this winding palace. The first room was the blue room, and blue were its windows. The second was the purple, and purple were its windows. Then the green, then the yellow, then the white, then the violet. And the last room was special in its own way. For it was black. Black as night. But the windows of this room were unique, for they did not match its color. No, the windows of this room were red, a blood color. Each room had its own unique light that would change the shape and the faces of the dancers within them. So much so that few dared enter the black and red room for the frightful familiarity of the red death that she bore. Within this room stood a clock made of black wood, and something strange would occur. At the top of each hour, bing, the clock would chime. And the chime was so beautiful, it was as if it was its own music. So much so that the music itself would stop. And the dancers would stop. And they would listen. Nevertheless, it was a lovely masquerade. They danced from room to room, they ate, they drank, they were married. And again, the clock would strike. And again, the music would stop. And again, the dancers would listen. But this time, before the clock would strike its final chime, there in the blue room, they noticed a masquerader they'd never seen before. Someone new. Gossip and curiosity filled the room, but their curiosity quickly turned to fear. For the clothes the masquerader wore were those of rags as though he was preparing for the grave, and the mask that he wore, well, it was dark, broken, shriveled. He looked like a dead man, so much so that those around him could not tell the difference. And then their fear turned to horror, for upon the mask, if it was a mask, the red spots. He was dressed as the Red Death itself. No one dared go near him. No one dared touch him. When Prospero entered the blue room and he looked upon the masquerader, he cried, "Who dares? Stop him! Seize him! Remove his mask so we may see who we hang at sunrise!" But no one dared touch him. The masquerader, then slow in pace, moved toward them and past them, and even past Prospero, who he too was frozen in his own fear. The masquerader then moved from the blue room to the purple, from the purple to the green, from the green to the yellow, from the yellow to the white, from the white to the violet. Finally standing before the Blackwood clock in the black and red room, no one dare follow, no one but Prospero, knife held high, ready to strike the stranger. Only a few feet away, hand back, ready to plunge. And suddenly there was a scream, and the sound of the knife falling to the floor, and the shining glimmer of its steel in the darkness. Then Prospero fell dead. The dancers all rushed into the room. The strongest among them went to grab hold of the masquerader. But it was then that they realized there was no human form within the rags. It was void, empty. That was how they knew the Red Death itself had visited them that night. And one by one, the dancers fell dead. And the kingdom fell with them. And the fires died. And the clock stopped. And the music stopped. And darkness and decay and the Red Death ruled over the land forevermore! My friends, did we have a good time? If you can please give it up for our servers, who are also your performers, who are also your bartenders,